Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another weekend market watch. Today is Sunday, September 29th. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Again, if you didn't see my community post yesterday, I did push back the market watch just for YCS Lille. I thought the meta might change a little bit, so I wanted to see how that shaked out before we covered the market. Unfortunately, things didn't change too much, but I do have some interesting things. As of recording this, I just finished watching the top 4 feature match between Yassine and a Rika duelist. I forget his name, honestly. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, I doubt you are because you're probably French. You probably, don't watch American stuff, but I apologize for not forgetting your name. But he was 1-0 in that game, so very, very fun to watch, but I figured now is a good enough time to do the market watch. So as always, starting off with the best-selling cards. Engraver's still holding 90. I kind of expect that to go up as the 2 Ubel Fiendsmith duelists that were made it into top 32, and God, feature mats have made it like all the way. Ubel is very much dominating this format, so I think people might start picking up Engravers more after seeing how well it did, but we'll see. Prelia is down to 50 again. It was up to 55, going back down to 50. This is probably where it will stay until Rage of the Abyss, in which this card might drop down a little bit. But then it might pick back up. It's kind of hard. This card is going to be really volatile. It's obviously not better than Fuaros, but it is just a card that, like, if you're playing Fuaros and you're intending on going, second, maybe you do consider playing this in main deck, maybe just like a copy or two. Mimical Dungeon is up to 15 or 16. New Mimical support was revealed this week, and people are hyped for it. The new support is really good. It does not make the deck a top-tier strategy, I will tell you that right now, but the deck is really powerful. The XEs are incredibly strong, and it is a pretty interesting deck. LZs have actually dropped to 25. I'm actually surprised about this. White Forest Runic did make it to at least top 8 of top 8 of YCS Lille, so this might see a bounce back up, but it's definitely not competing with the like the U-Bells and the Tenpais and the everything else for top tier slots. But it is a deck that I think, especially the Runic build, you're not going to see this get hit like very hard, if at all. Like, if you're going to see anything get hit, it's going to be the Runic side. So if you do end up picking these up, you'll probably be able to play with them for a while. So if you're looking for a deck that's, strong, but is not going to, it's not really going to get hit. It's not going to get neutered like Ubel or Tenpai might. White Force is definitely a pickup. OG SPs are only $60 now. I mean, they are holding a decent price because it's just so hard to pull them out of the tins. But yeah, not a bad price. Phantoms are back up to 40. Not surprising. I do expect these to shoot up after they win YCS Lille. This is a card that has a massive target on its back come the next ban list. I think this card goes to 1 very easily. So if you have copies of Phantom and you're not intending on playing Ubel, or you're not sure if you want to play it, maybe just consider offloading them. Promethean Princess is up to 30 to 40. I am not surprised about this at all, especially with the new Fire King and Azamina support coming in Rage of the Abyss. People are picking this up because they know it's going to be powerful. You might even play more than one of this, to be completely honest, if you can afford the space in your extra deck. This is basically just Halka-Fibrax 2.0, but for fire deck, so really interesting. Silhouette's still holding the $20 price tag. People were using it to replace Appaloosa as an endboard piece, along with the Azure Rune statue. It's a fine card. I won't say it's better. I think if you can end on IPSP, it's better, but obviously if you can't afford IP, this is just good enough. That Grasslook Screener is still holding a $30 price tag. Please get rid of them now because they will be in QCR Bonanza. Dominus Purge holding 14. It stays at 14 forever. Dominus Impulse is a card that's already pre-sailing at 60. I'm not going to cover pre-sales because enough people are already doing that. But yeah, Dominus Purge is a card that I'm surprised is only holding 14. Centurion Axulia is only $14. I mean, I think Centurion does get some support here, and obviously they're not looking too hot for the future, but it's an interesting deck. Nightmare Apprentice is holding 30. Nightmare Thrones are only 20. That's actually very surprising to me that they're only 20. This might see a spike up if Ubel wins Lille. Wanted's 21. Raging Phoenix is up to 30. Jurak Meteor is a card that I think we're covering a little bit later, but I already covered it last one. But yeah, this is a card that don't pick it up. Just don't. It's going to be reprinted. There's no way they make a deck completely centered around a card that's from like 15 years ago and they don't reprint it. Now I know everyone's saying, well, they did that with Tenpai. Tenpai, you didn't need, like the support didn't center around summoning Trident Dragon. It just centered on doing battle damage. The new support centers around Jirak Meteor. So this is going to be reprinted. Unless you have DT copies, I would sell the secrets. As sellers are only 15s, I would actually maybe consider picking these up if you want to play pure White Forest or White Forest toys. Yeah, that's actually pretty surprising. It was holding 20 to 25 for a long time, so to see it down to 15 is it's a thing. Tenpai Pydra is only 11. Deep Bellstar is holding 25 to 30, which is really surprising. I think we are actually going to take a look at the tins. I didn't want to take a look at the tins because everyone keeps looking at the tins, but whatever. We might take a look just for some of these, like Wanted at 20, Deep Bellstar at 30. Imseti at 30 as well, OG Imsetis at 30. Not super surprising considering like these cards were pretty hard to pull. Bonfire still at 25, and Caesar Valley has jumped up to 20. You only need one or two of it for the Vanquish Soul deck, but it is a deck that everything else got reprinted, so I think except for, no, I think it was either Mad Love or Pantera didn't get reprinted in the tins, so this along with a couple of those cards aren't reprinted, so they're getting up there in price. Anything else? I mean, we got some stuff here for sure. I mean, Tract is holding $10, not surprised. Protoss is holding 40. I want to see this card gone, but it'll probably come out in QCR Bonanza first, so maybe consider offloading this. OG Typhon's only 20. Bone Party's holding 30. Yeah, Mad Love's up to 10, so that's one of the cards that didn't get reprinted. OG's Thrusts are up to 45. Chaos Angel's up to 35 for the OG printing. Wake Up is 8. Clockwork Knight's still holding 15. This card is just expensive for no reason. There's no deck that actually uses it, but everyone has it in case it gets broken. Seventh Ascension, up to 16. That's actually impressive for the Legendary Duel set. Lars are 13. Lightsworn Dragonlings are 15. Millennium Monk is 8. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot. So let's go ahead and get into some other things. Battles Legend, Terminal Revenge. I wanted to look at this set because obviously you have Phantom as 40. We covered Lara at 13 to 15. Lancia is still holding 10 to 11. Red Lotus King Flame Crime. This card is holding a $8 price tag. I believe this was either being played in Centurion or RDA, but I don't think it's really being played in much else. But the reason I wanted to cover this set is kind of just full of penny stocks. I mean, look at this. Grand Guiganol is holding 6, Substitute is 5, Kurikar is 5, Blaze is 5, Archfiend's Advent is 4, Mirror Mage is 3, Starter is 3, Evil is 3, Diviner is 3, Aromatherapy Jasmine is 2 to 3, Gen X Arms Return 0 is $2. This is just like 20 cents like a month ago. Stripe Blue is 2, Oil's 2, Informative Flood is 2, Cartesia is 2, Breon X2, like these are all cards. Like Shining Star Dragon, I think, is another card that could get bought out potentially. Like other than like Phantom, Lara, and Lancia, like everything here is just a penny stock. So I would definitely consider, like, if you have some bulk, maybe pull it out and consider putting it in Train Binder. People might be looking for Sprite stuff or whatnot. I want to cover some cards from Phantom Nightmare, and then we're going to cover the whole Phantom Nightmare. So as we said, Promethean Princess is up to $40 a copy. This is not surprising me at all. It was 15. I'm glad I picked up mine at about 15. But this thing shot up to 40, both because of the Fire King support, but also because Snake Eyes was not just brutally murdered. Konami did not take Snake Eyes outside behind the shed when they should have. So now this card is jumping up to $40, and I think you might even play multiples of this in like a Fire King variant. Low Prayer of the Forces Voice is down to only $17 a copy. I mean, this is getting an ultimate rare reprint, so I expect it to drop even less, like here in a couple weeks, because the OTS is dropping here in about 2 weeks. It's about the same time as the Rage of the Abyss. It might be a little bit earlier, but yeah, this is a card that's going to drop. So if you want to play Voiceless Voice, the few of you that want to play Voiceless Voice that don't have it, if you're not picking up now, maybe wait a week. These might be like 12. I'm going to guess 12. Vitos the Eruption Dragon is only $8 to $9. While this card isn't insane, it is an interesting little hand trap that it's basically just Ghost Ogre for field spells and gives you a nice body. Yeah, I mean, it's a card. I don't know if it's really amazing, but it is only $8. It'll probably get reprinted in next year's tins, so maybe we'll see like crazy Ashen support. But looking at the rest of the Ashen support, I mean, there's not a lot here. I mean, Awakening of Vados is 2, Priestess is 2, Obsidian is like $1. Everything else is 50 cents or less. So you're really looking at a pretty cheap deck if you want to play Ashen. I mean, everyone was super hyped for it, but then it didn't get the support it needed. So if you were looking to play Ashen, I mean, maybe consider picking it up. I'm actually going to check out one more thing, the Vidos IDOS. There is is this it? Yeah, this is it, the Vidos Fusion. It is $2. So yeah, you're not looking at a very expensive card for Ashen if you do want to play it. So I don't know, maybe look into it, maybe don't, but yeah. So looking at the rest of Phantom Nightmare, there really isn't a lot. This set dropped a lot in value, and I'm quite surprised. Obviously, Promethean Princess is the most expensive. Black Goat Laughs is 18. We already covered Low and Vitos. Iron Thunder is only about $4 to $5. Really good counter trap. Loving Defender Forever is only 6. I don't even think like U-Bell decks aren't playing this, but I think if you lose Phantom, maybe you play this. Saphir is $5. Raid Raptor Rising Rebellion Falcon's 5. Poplar's 4. Packbit is 4. EMP Meow Mine. This was a card that was predicted to be playable in Sprite, but nobody ever played it. So $3. Walls of the Imperial Tomb. I'm actually surprised it's holding $3. Is that actually true? It is. It is a $3 card. Wow, that is surprising. Only 21 listings. Yeah, so if you guys have Phantom Nightmare bulk, you might want to see if you can pull out some Walls of the Imperial Tombs and offload them. I'm guessing this is just because it didn't get reprinted in the tin, so it shot up. Other than that, what do we have? The Goblin Biker stuff is in here and it's super cheap. More U-Bell cards like Samsara D Lotus and stuff, but we're not really having much. I guess the Magispector cards are in here. Yeah, New is in here. But yeah, not too much there. I wanted to cover OTS 25. Fire King Island is getting bought out because it's the only holo print of the island, and the new support is really good for islands. People are buying it out for a Fire King Snake Eyes build. But Arvada is not being bought out. Arvada is still populating as much as it is. It's only about 25 to 50 cents. So if you guys maybe want a possible penny stock option, I think Arvada could climb up to maybe $1 or $2, but I don't think it's going to be too expensive. I think Island is definitely your penny stock. So if you have them, pull them out, maybe try to offload them. I wanted to look at Labyrinth stuff, particularly the Butler and the Big Welcome. Butler is only about $3 to $5 for the old copies. Why is this? Is this actually $8 still? It sort of is. It's 7. The tin printings are 4. And then the Big Welcomes, I'm looking at the whole Welcome Labyrinth suite. You have Big Welcomes for only about $3 to $5 here, and then normal welcomes are again about 2 to 3, 3 to 4. You can pick up an ultimate big welcome Labyrinth for only about 15. So I guess if you really like the Labyrinth archetype, maybe pick up big welcomes. But I did want to take a look at the whole tins here, just because they are just so volatile. SP is 50, the OG is 60. Triple Tactics Thrust is 35, the OG is 45 to 50. KS Angel here is 15, the OG was 30. Imseti here is 22, the OG was 28. Wanteds are 25, Wanteds are 20, Bonfires are 25. Other than that, what else do we have? Typhon's 15, Dissipator's 10, Emblem of Oath is 8, Trident Dragon is only $9, that's insane. Grand Zeno's 8, or 7 to 8. True Day is 6. Yeah, we're not seeing a ton of value out of this set, so it makes sense why a lot of the OGs are holding a pretty high value. We did want to look at Dinomorphia. Some people in one of the testing servers I'm in have been kind of looking at Dinomorphia as like a pretty well-positioned budget option for the format. And this deck is super cheap. I mean, you have Therizia at 25 cents, Rexstrom at $1, Frenzy and Domain at $1, Catch is 50, Stealth Bergia is 20. Diplos is nothing. Everything else is pennies after that. So if you guys are interested in a Dynamorphia deck, I could put up a list on the channel. Maybe you guys would be interested in that. Leave a comment, let me know. Want to look at Therion cards, and I am so depressed. So I remember when I spent like $20 to $30 on a Lily Borea, and I was spending like $40 to $50 on Kings, and they're $2 for the Kings and $1 for Lily. So pick up your Therion engine now. I mean, realistically, like, these are cards that are waiting to be, have another deck that can break them. I know people were playing Therion Horus for a while, but yeah, if you're looking for something to pick up, I definitely pick up Regulus. Like, this card is a machine. Any machine deck that comes into the meta, like, people are gonna say, well, what if we play Regulus? So yeah, definitely pick those up. Lastly, so the top 5 of YCS Lille is 2 Yubel, 1 Tenpai, and 1 Rika Plant Link. So I wanted to just look at the list for you guys. So here's the Yubel deck. This is the deck I expect to win. So we're looking at a pretty expensive deck here, about $800 to $900, and it's only going to get more expensive with Fuaros coming out. Now, most of the value is located in exactly Engraver, Pirellia, and Thrust. If you look at the rest of this, most of these are pretty cheap. We have, none of the Yubel cards are very expensive. Shirava's obviously pennies. Squirmer, Dark Beckoning Beast is kind of expensive at 2. Spirit Gates is down a lot because it did get limited. Nightmare Throne we saw is 20, so that is it is a decent chunk of change. And the problem with this deck is it's very kind of like, you have to play a Fiend deck. You can't mix Unchained and Yubel and anything else. So if something like Phantom gets hit, or if Area Leader gets banned, something like that, Nightmare Throne gets banned, there's a good chance that this deck isn't going to survive for very long. Did want to look at Tenpai. It is the budget deck of the format. As we saw, Pydras are only about 11. Again, Rokus are actually up to 4 to 5. That's actually impressive to me. Pirellia is 50. This deck kind of really likes Pirellia and Fuaros, so you're going to see a lot of things. But this deck is playing, at least this list that I pulled up, is playing a mix between Hand Traps and Board Breakers. You have Imperms and Ash, obviously, but you've got Raigekis and Shifters and Lightning Storm, so pretty simple. And then finally, a Ragnarika Plant Link build. These are almost all main deck 60 now. Kind of weird. You have a lot of cards, and with the... now, I know a lot of people are saying, like, oh, with the new Primite, we just have more unexpected dies. I don't think that consistency was the Plant Link deck's problem. So I'm not saying that they won't play like the new Primite cards, but I'm not saying they will either. But yeah, this deck is pretty interesting. Most of the value, this deck is actually cheaper overall than the Tenpai deck, which is surprising for a 60 card list. Most of the value is, again, just located in things like Thrust and things in the non-engine. So Imperms are obviously 5 to 10. Evenlies are not that expensive anymore. Blooms or Evil Seed is 10. Blooms are 5. Everything else is fairly cheap, it looks like. I guess Snowdrop is the one up, but it is $10. That's surprising. Is this a solo print? It is. Well, it is a solo print. So yeah, but that is it from me, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.